Welcome to the Nerdy Virgo. So this is a reading for a divorcee um, who's been through quite an uncomfortable growth, left in the cold here, absolutely left in the cold with the Five of Discs over there. Okay, someone who deserved to be treated absolutely better. Okay, perhaps you and a child um, have been treated terribly, or perhaps your inner child, a former version of you, was treated terribly, right? Um, Maybe somebody with, um, a childhood sweetheart kind of a relationship. Now, remember, this reading is not for everyone, it's a specific reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. And so it seems like you're moving into a place of growth, a place of far more stability as this divorce comes through, or for some of you, it's already gone through, and you're already experiencing that stability, right? But you are up against um, a lot of sneaky behavior, perhaps from the ex, perhaps from those supporting them, or perhaps you have survived that, right? And I feel that there's been a significant financial loss. I do feel that while you're feeling emotionally rich, you're facing um, a loss that may have hit you very hard in the practical and financial sort of area, right? But there's certainly an inner growth, a return to youth, a return to vitality, right? And perhaps you're running out of patience, okay, because you've been terribly stabbed in the back. And I think that those you once relied on outside of this marriage, perhaps in laws, perhaps your own support system, have seriously let you down and failed you. Perhaps they've made you feel like you're the bad guy. Okay. I really get a sense that relationships are meant to be 50-50. I do get the sense that you've had to do you tried to do 200% of the work and you actually pushed yourself to do 75% of the work. We couldn't get that other spouse, you know, to do their 25%. Of course, this may be an official marriage or just maybe a long term relationship that reflected um, marriage, right? And I'm not entirely sure that they are willing to move forward. Maybe you don't even know how to live without them. Maybe you don't know what life looks like without them. All you know is that in their absence, there is peace. Okay, and so now is the time with the moon here to delve into your subconscious because a lesson will repeat itself until learned, right? These things happen um, because we're meant to finish some kind of karmic cycle. We're meant to learn something. Okay. And I think maybe with all the cynicism that does come from divorce, you're not that able to hold on to hope at the moment. Right. And it's okay. I think we all get cynical when we go through a divorce. Right. Um, but it's not the end of your story. It really isn't. Okay. Very interesting that we're getting contradictory messages with the Eight of Cups over there. So it might be the partner in this, or it might be that you may not realize how emotionally stable you actually are. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, but this was not meaningless. What you went through was not futile. Okay, there was a purpose for it, a greater purpose. Okay, and if you could just make friends with yourself, learn to love yourself first, right? You can return to pleasure. Pleasure in the small things that the relationship took away from you. Notice changes in your behavior, perhaps music you weren't allowed to listen to, um, you know, in that relationship. Do you see what I'm saying? Um, Perhaps they were always hogging the remote, right? Making fun of the things that you enjoy, perhaps your hobbies. You now have the freedom to return to that. Okay? Ruin. Right. So for some of you, it definitely feels devastating. Perhaps your reputation took a huge knock. Perhaps you've lost a huge support system. Divorce can often even shake your faith a lot, right? Make you feel like you've lost that spark and that magic. okay? But this is an initiation, right? You've got to find the fight within yourself, okay? And it's all right to feel exhausted. It's all right not to feel like like you've got it in you, because right now is the time to nurture yourself. Okay, I think for some of you, this relationship gave very practical, tangible, and financial security, while you sold parts of your soul out. Okay, not meaning to. Perhaps you didn't have better tools. Perhaps you had nowhere else to turn. Right, but now is the time to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. Now is the time to be your own warrior here with the Princess of Wands. Okay? So we've got art over there. Um, you've got the chance now to be the writer of your own story. You've got the chance to create your own life, right? So if money were not an obstacle, if this divorce had never happened, what would you accomplish? What does your inner child actually want? Who are you outside of this relationship? Who were you before you met this person? Strength. It's important to be your own warrior now, to advocate for yourself. And you can start by standing up to yourself, standing up to that part of you that doesn't believe in yourself. You see, it's low self-esteem in the first place that puts us on the same frequency as these relationships, you know? And if you don't heal that, it doesn't matter if you find another partner, okay? Um, None of that kind of thing is going to matter, okay? It's something in you that needs to heal, all right? Teaching. The lesson will repeat itself until learned. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to learn this again. Not even necessarily in divorce. It may come up in work areas. It may come up in friendships. It may come up in future romantic relationships, right? But you're not going to escape the lesson. So it's important to look at yourself, to look at where you failed, okay? And where you failed yourself, right? Where you weren't true to yourself, okay? And honor your energy. There's no cavalry. No one's coming to save you, okay? It's up to you with whatever you have in your hand, no matter how little it seems. It definitely is enough. It's up to you to create the energy that you need, right? This wasn't ultimately a failure in your relationship to him or her or them. It was a failure in your relationship to yourself. And until you heal that, it doesn't matter what you get right. Okay? So I'm sending you lots of love and light. I know that walking through the valley of the shadow of divorce is not easy. I know it's like open heart surgery without anesthesia. I've been there. Okay? But no one's coming to save you. You're going to have to learn to do those things that they did for you on your own now. You're going to have to learn to be your own source now. And there are going to be areas in which you're overdeveloped and areas in which you're underdeveloped. Okay, and it's important to take an honest look, not beating yourself up, being honest about what you're good at, being absolutely kind and compassionate to yourself. You did the best you could with the tools that you had. but now is the time to develop better tools. Okay? And this lesson may take years, but you got to be dedicated to it. And if you're wondering if love is possible again, it is. But this time around, don't focus on the kind of partner you want to get. Focus on the kind of partner you want to be. You'll naturally be attractive to those kinds of people. Okay? And the more you work on your self-esteem, the less you'll be attracted to toxic people. Okay? So may you move forward in self-respect, in self-love, in self-healing. And I wish you all of the best. This has been the Nerdy Virgo, with a specific reading for a specific divorcee, or someone who's gone through a devastating breakup. Chin up, tits forward. You've got this. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe.